good die young. As I pause. Midweek, Jacksonville, Cincinnati. Incredibly important game. And the Jaguars go into that hornet's nest and go up 2-0. Well, the good news is they're healthy. There's no question about it. They are. The latest on Anton Harrison, we'll actually see. But he was limited today. Outside of that, it's exactly what you had 1 week ago. And, I would think that Buster's not going to be able to give it a go. Certainly Wyatt Milam is not going to be able to give it a go. And we'll see what ends up happening with Cole Van Lannon, who did participate today in full. So the feeling is, Tank Bigsby not on the 48-man roster on Sunday. I don't think they're going to bring up a running back. I feel pretty comfortable about the fact that they'll have 3 on the roster. So where do you add that extra position? Is it Cole Van Lannon coming in? Or do they maybe go to the other side of the football? Do we see Mason Smith get his first opportunity this season? Liam Cohen had some really good things to say about Mason Smith a couple of days ago, saying that it was the lack of reps. And it was the lack of being able to get out there with his teammates day in, day out. And, that's a comment that right now I absolutely do want to believe. I still think he's a big part of all of this. You can do what you want with Pro Football Focus. It's some data. It's something that I absolutely look at. I have always said that I don't fully understand Pro Football Focus. The best example I can give you for that, if you're unaware of this, do you realize that, and this just blows me away, that Bryce Young had a better quarterback day as far as what he was able to put up with Pro Football Focus compared to Trevor Lawrence. Now, it wasn't a classic Trevor Lawrence football game. And again, to say classic would be even a little bit of a reach for me. But just the fact that he rated higher and he did so significantly higher just blows me away. But that was actually the case with Pro Football Focus. They went on as well and said that Devon Hamilton did not play a good football game. He was the lowest rated player who did play for Jacksonville. That's starting to become a little bit concerning for me. Hamilton 2 years ago had a very good camp. 3 years ago, he had a very good camp. All right, the back injury did happen. It set him back. But he's just not consistently getting push. And a year ago, the Jaguars, according to ESPN stats, were last in pass rush win rate, and primarily that came from the interior defensive line. So I just kind of see this thing spinning a little bit for Devon Hamilton. Eric Armstead had 49 snaps. You look at that entire rotation on Sunday, 24 for Hamilton. Then you got 13 from Austin Johnson. Colin Saunders came in and added 12. I think there's absolutely an opportunity there for an upgrade. And it's a question of when are they going to bring in Mason Smith? I had quite a few people, Monday and Tuesday, or actually right after the trade late Monday night with Tank Bigsby. Is Mason Smith next? Is Mason Smith next? Well, Mason Smith hasn't proven anything in the league yet. His draft status goes away pretty quickly when you do not perform, when you're a healthy scratch, when you do not take care of your body like he did as a rookie, and you've been injury prone, missing primarily the month of August. I still think the light's going to go on. In limited amounts of opportunities that we saw him over at the Miller Electric Center, he looked like he was the one guy on that defense who actually added weight. We did see that guys had shed a lot of weight. I mean, guys had really shed pounds after Ryan Nielsen's thought of adding it a year ago. And it became crystal clear when you look at Josh Hines-Allen and you look at Trayvon Walker and you look at Devin Lloyd and players like that. But I always thought the exception of the rule, in my opinion, was Mason Smith. It's my way of believing he is still going to be a big part of this. And I tell you what was one of the biggest surprises for me on Sunday. They rotated a ton of players. I mean, there were times where I was like, is this deja vu all over again? Because there were 3 and 4 guys running on the field and running off the field. It wasn't quite the Ryan Nielsen hockey shift that we witnessed a year ago. But I asked Mark Duffner about this yesterday. Was this because you are just trying to find out what works and what doesn't work? Did humidity, during that first weekend of September come into play? Could that have been a factor? And Duffner happened to think that it was a combination of them both. But, overall, certainly room there to add some guys, I think, when it's all said and done at defensive tackle. With Tank Bigsby, and we've heard him say it. And it's one thing to say it because words are words. It's another thing to follow up on that. And I think that all 3 of them, when you look at Gladstone, Baselli, and Cohen, have really talked about continuously trying to build this football team. So I think where you're at right now is you look at a 53-man roster and you say, okay, you just took care of the running back situation. That's set. And was Tank unhappy? Was Tank selfish? Tank Bigsby ran into the locker room, while the other team, his teammates were celebrating. That's an awful look. It's a terrible look. I'm not saying that's the reason why he was traded, but it's a bad look. He didn't get the football. And again, I think he's a very good running back. I thought he had a phenomenal camp. I just don't think he's a Liam Cohen back. I don't think he's a guy that you can really trust because he can't catch the football. And he's average to below average in pass protect. But right now, they like what they have at running back. And they're going to put a lot of faith now in the rookies. You're going to see the rookies as well as the kick returners. Maybe Parker Washington back there. But I would think keep Parker Washington as your punt return guy. Have Chutin, who was there last week, actually did drop a ball, which he doesn't do a lot. I guess he fumbles when he gets hit. But he's supposed to have incredible hands. That's all we heard about him coming out of Tech. He let one get away, and then Allen Jr., same deal. So I would expect that those are going to be the 2 kick returners for Jacksonville coming up on Sunday in Cincinnati. But if you look at where do you become better, what moves do you make next, I have to believe it's on defense. And right now for me, it's safety. After that, it would be, as I just talked about, defensive tackle. Now, the difference there is I think you can really fill the void if Mason Smith does improve in year 2. At safety, I think this is an enormous week for Jacksonville. I believe you're going to see Joe Burrow just attempt to do whatever he can when it comes to the middle part of the football field. Right? I mean, he's going to challenge guys on the end. We know that. There'll be some deep balls for Chase. There'll be some deep balls for Higgins. But when you look at Font, who I want to say was their leading receiver in week 1, the tight end, you know that is going to be something they are really going to try to stress. Jacksonville does not have great coverage linebackers. I think Dewey is an effort guy, and even though he had a pick 6 that called back, I still think his forte is the run, and it's not necessarily against the pass. I don't know if you can trust Darnell Savage right now. Antonio Johnson certainly is very important on special teams. I think it's going to take him a little bit to adjust to this new style of defense. It could end up benefiting him when it's all said and done. But if you look at it that way, all of a sudden it's like, oh boy. You got Ray Lane, who's a special teamer. Ransaw's gone, right? He's on IR. Daniel Thomas is gone. Ray Lane became Daniel Thomas. That would be the one position that I would identify right now and say if Jacksonville is going to make another move. And they have all sorts of opportunities to do this. They have 13 draft picks. I mean, you could throw a player in a pick, or you could just say goodbye to Darnell Savage and go out and try to get another safety somewhere. that's just me thinking out loud. Because a few people did ask me yesterday, where are they going next? Some people mentioned tight end. I actually think they're better at tight end than some people realize. Hunter Long's got good hands. He only got 6 snaps on Sunday. Johnny Munt's the guy that they trust more when they go into the 12 grouping, the 1 running back, 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set. And Liam Cohen did that 16 times on Sunday. It was second only to your, base or your 11 set, which you good football fans know what an 11 is. It's 1 running back, it's 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers. So they did that 44 times. And again, 16 of them actually were of the 12 variety, again, with the double tight. So Johnny Munt got much more play. I think he had 33 snaps in the game, but I don't see them going to tight end right now. I think they're happy there. Safety, that for me would be the next one up. All right, we got a ton to do here over the next couple of hours. No question about it. We're going to give you the very latest as far as the injury report here in Jacksonville. As well, I have identified a few things that I think you'll find intriguing when you look at what Liam Cohen in Tampa did a year ago compared to what Liam Cohen did 3 days ago in Duval. And I get it. It's somewhat foolish to compare 1 game to 17 games from a year ago, but that's all we got, right? I mean, that's all we have at this particular point. And I think it is a positive to look at the way that he used this offense in the victory against Carolina, but just to kind of identify what they did and also compare that to what he did with different personnel a year ago. So, what really could be coming up this weekend against Cincinnati. So we'll spend some time doing that, and we got a whole heck of a lot more. I've also outlined, in my opinion, 4 things that Jacksonville is going to have to do this Sunday that they didn't do last Sunday if they want to pull off the upset against the Cincinnati Bengals. So all of that is coming up. We're also going to hear from our good friend John Oehser. Unfortunately, the Philly Godfather just canceled on me. He says he's got a family matter, so we'll make an adjustment, and we'll have him on either tomorrow or we will do that on Friday. Remember, programming note, Fridays during high school football season, we are on from 4 to 6 on 1010 only. So that's going to be the case for another couple of months or so. Each and every Friday, 4 to 6 on 1010. Again, with you tomorrow night, we will do the same drill right here on 92.5 from 6 until 8. Okay, opening comments brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. Eyes are so important, but it's the one part of the body that, we always let go. Heck, you're going to get your hair cut all the time, right? If you're feeling a twinge or something in your body, you go to a doctor. Why is it that you neglect your eyesight? It's so incredibly important, yet it happens quite a bit. Shmunez Vision. Make yourself an appointment today. Get the very latest as far as your eyes, and you may need a new prescription. Then there's so many options that are there for you. It's very affordable to have laser eye surgery and never have to worry again about looking for your readers or falling asleep with your contacts. You may be scared. You may think there's something wrong with your eyes, okay? Why would you delay it? It may be something as simple as an allergy. It may be more significant, okay? If so, doesn't mean you need surgery. There may be another remedy for it. But if it's needed, 3 doctors there, more than 37 years worth of practice. That's Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. They're also going to be the ones who are going to sit down with you, take you through everything as far as your eye examination, answer all your questions, and they will perform surgery. Tell you what, that's a pretty cool deal. Not talking to anyone else and then getting that information to the doctor. No, it's a straight sit down with one of those 3. So that should be comforting for you. Check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram on Shmunez Vision and get the very latest as far as testimonials. All right, we're going to be jam-packed right here on this Wednesday. 641-1010 is the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the night.
Get the weekend feeling all day Friday.
Best feeling in the world, isn't it?
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday.
You're going to love this.
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day. Built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Hacker here, and you guys know I always tell you the benefits of Awaken 180 weight loss. Well, I had another one last week. I went down to Disney for Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party, right? And I actually dressed up in a costume along with my wife and my son. Now, 100 pounds ago, I would not have ever dreamed of dressing up in a costume nor getting my picture taken because I didn't want to get my picture taken. I didn't want it plastered all over the internet with the way I look. But thanks to Awaken 180 and losing over 100 pounds, you get more confidence. You can wear costumes now. You can be part of the family fun. It's just another benefit that Awaken 180 provides. It's a healthy lifestyle. I'm in the maintenance program now. It's absolutely awesome. Again, I cannot possibly recommend Awaken 180 enough. Losing weight has changed my life. If it's time to change your life, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Listen to whatever you like, whenever you want.
I like this.
1010XL on demand. Ad-free shows after the live shows end. Shadowed by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
How'd you get your money so quick?
Hard Rock Bet's got lightning fast withdrawals.
Almost as fast as Dale Jr. valeting cars at this party.
Man, he's fast.
Hard Rock Bet's fast withdrawals have given me new motivation. Tips are appreciated.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable and bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
There's a new game changer in downtown Jacksonville, and it's not the two-way star you might be thinking of. It's Pour Tap Room Jacksonville at Laura and Forsyth. 2 floors, 80 self-pour taps of craft beer, wine and cocktails, and a full liquor bar. Pour Tap Room has all your game day favorites. Wings, burgers, and more. You can even grab a slice or a pie next door at Pizza Dynamo, and they'll bring it right to your table. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville, a beer festival every day.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CAR Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coatings, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. In Into the Night with Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The uptick, it's more so, going into week one, it was, okay, we know that it's not going to be a ton on defense. The goal is to increase and continue to increase. It just so happens that we're playing Cincinnati with two good wideouts this week.
Liam Cohen talking about more of Travis Hunter on Sunday. Again, it's going to be a fluid situation, you got to believe, and hopefully they'll be able to take advantage of what the game gives you. You can even make the case that 44 offensive snaps and a 26-10 victory over Carolina was maybe a few too much or a few too many. And it should have been more of Parker Washington. Only 6 plays on defense. Let's be honest, they didn't need them. That 1 3rd and 7, I mentioned it to folks in the box. I'm like, this would be the time I'd have him in. They didn't elect to put him in. I got to believe he's going to get more burn on that side of the football field, obviously coming up on Sunday. So it'll be right there at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bengals favored by 3.5. Your total 48.5. I've actually seen somewhere doing a little bit of shopping where Cincinnati's down to a field goal. Of course, if you're a Jags fan, you want the hook if you're betting on it. The difference between 3 and 3.5 is absolutely enormous in gambling terms. Tonight's show brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. Rick Alexander has made it his mission to fight for you for the best possible result. He's been doing this for more than 30 years. His team focuses on guiding you through the entire process, which includes if you're hurt right now, you're injured, all right, your vehicle does not work, it is broken. Those are the type of calls and questions that you should have. 400-6600, free call, free consultation. You can also check out everything, and I recommend it. Just go to Alexander Law Practice. But you may think that you're alone, and no one's going to help you through this. Here's what's going to happen at Alexander Law Practice. You're going to get an immediate call back. Then they're really going to look at your situation. What happened to you? And you're going to get that individualized treatment, and you're going to get the care that you deserve, and you'll never have to come out of pocket. What I mean by that is your car gets fixed. You find a way to get to work. You get help paying bills. These are the type of questions that you will ask during your consultation. So don't think you're alone. Alexander Law Practice. Check him out online. And again, a free call, free consultation at 400-6600. Comments there from Liam Cohen talking about Travis Hunter is going to get more snaps this week. Dylan, that's going to be, I think, pretty cool. And I'm trying. It was Charles Davis over the summer. We had him on, and Charles still doing a really good job. He's actually getting ready to replace Gary Danielson in a year and become the the next college football color analyst. He'll be there with Brad Nessor. I mean, Danielson's been there for what? 2.5 decades, or feels that way.
25 years.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. He was there with Vern Lundquist, and he was there now with Brad Nessler. It's probably not the same around here because it's Big Ten now. It's no longer the SEC. But it was Charles Davis who was here for a practice at the Miller Electric Center, and I had him on, and we were obviously talking about Hunter, and I said, well, what do you think? And his opinion was really solid that he didn't think immediately it would be both. It's just too much as far as the wear and tear in holding up in this league. He does believe eventually, maybe 2-3 years in, that could be the case. And he gets, close to equal amount of snaps on both sides of the football. But if you take into consideration the fact that he did go down, right? Travis Hunter missed the last 10 days of camp. Travis Hunter did not work with Miami. It was not a major setback, but it still occurred. And did that have any influence on him this past weekend, not playing more on the defensive side of the football? I would have to believe it did. Now, You hope he gets healthy. Took some hits, right? Caught the ball 6 times, took plenty of hits. Was on defense, had 1 tackle on the Ted McMillan 14-yard reception against Hunter. But Dylan, to me, this is going to be pretty cool to see the flow of the game, the score of the game, and in-game what this coaching staff elects to do when it comes to less snaps on offense and more snaps on defense.
Yeah, and I love that, we're in week 2, and we still have no idea what the plan is for him on the offense or defensive side of the ball. It's he played, 33 snaps on offense, and I'm only 6 on defense, and it's like the narrative kind of is, it needs to be playing more defense. If you ask nationally, it's like, well, there really wasn't needed on defense this week, so the terms changed a little bit this week. You're playing T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and we know how many points they can score on the offensive side of the ball. As we get week 2 of the NFL season, coming out of the preseason, there's a lot of teams that were unknown right now. We kind of thought the Colts were terrible. They could do good week 1. Okay, we'll give them a shot. I feel like we don't know about much teams in the NFL. The Bengals, we know who they are. They're going to score a lot, and they're going to give up a lot. And so it'll be interesting to see, how they figure in Travis Hunter with the flow of this defense, because if you have a good flow of your defense and you kind of throw them in there and mess it up a little bit, that's not, what you want to see.
Yeah, they got to be all lathered up right now in Cincinnati. Those 2 wide receivers were a combined 5 for 9. If you look at receptions to targets for, 59 yards. 3 balls, 33 yards for T. Higgins, 2 balls, 26 yards for Jamar Chase. They're going to show up like a wounded animal, and they're going to want to put up huge numbers. So, for me, this is the game that, as much as I want Travis Hunter working on offense, I want to see him on defense. I certainly want to see him out there on 3rd down. Okay, they're going to put him out there on 1st and 10. That I don't know. And as I said at the top of the program, what is very curious about this is the way that Campanile rotated on Sunday. It was more than I did expect. So, it looks like Buster Brown, another week where he's not going to be able to give it a go. I thought Jarian Jones was better than his Pro Football Focus rating. And, you got a really good effort, obviously, out of Jordan Lewis. Both of the defensive backs, free agent acquisitions, ended up playing huge for Jacksonville in this game. But it feels like to me that this is a game, and I'm not going to say he has more defensive snaps than offensive snaps, but I think this is the game it really does begin to increase. And what makes this so intriguing is, you as the Jaguars fan, you may totally disagree with this. You may be like, no, hell no. Offense. This offense averaged 18.8 points a game last year. They couldn't run the football. They were terrible on 3rd down. They were brutal in the red zone. Fix the offense first. And I'll sign up for that. I've been all about that, okay? But I do think you have to start to look at things like, how much is a drop-off between Travis Hunter and Parker Washington? And I'm talking about in your 2nd NFL game. These are 2 totally different wide receivers. Travis Hunter is a lot faster than Parker Washington. Travis Hunter's a guy that can score anytime you get him the football. But when you put Parker Washington out there, he's what? Your 4th option? Your 3rd option? If you add Brenton Strange, heck, he could even be your 5th option with Etienne or Tootin when it comes to throwing the football to them, if it's a design screen or a screen that becomes your dump down valve. So that's what I'm getting at. Compared to the other side, where Tyson Campbell, he played fairly physical football. I thought it was a pretty good effort for him on Sunday. And Jordan Lewis, who's now in the slot, how much better are you against those 2 all-world wide receivers by putting Hunter on that side and, again, sacrificing what he'll give you offensively? We don't know. We have no idea. This could be another deal where he gives you 44 plays on offense and 6 plays on defense. We don't know that. And, to me, that's another part of all of this. that really makes it, I think, extra fun when you go into a football game. It's the only time you go into a football game with a lot of uncertainty is if you're giving a guy under center who has no experience, right? Arch Manning going into Ohio State a couple of weeks ago. C.J. Carr, Notre Dame, going into Miami. There's the uncertainty, right? The other is if your team is really injured. This is a new one. It's like, what's the game plan? You know, Rex Ryan says play them all defense. Make them an all-world corner. You out there listening may think the exact opposite. Forget about the defense. Get them set offensively first. And again, this is so unusual. We've never dealt with anything even remotely close like this. And it's fascinating here in Jacksonville. And Dylan's right. We don't know at this point. We have absolutely no idea. But it makes it, I think, extra intriguing. Okay, I'll ask John Oehser about that. He's going to join us in 30 minutes. In the meantime, let's get much more from you. I want to identify a few of those things that I think have to come into fruition if the Jaguars are going to pull off this upset. We'll do that on the other side.
This is your escape. This is your next adventure. This is Mazda, and this is Mazda at the Avenues. Lauren Brooks here. Right now, purchase any new Mazda model, and Mazda at the Avenues will match your down payment or your payments for 1 full year. Plus, every new Mazda comes with 3 years, 36,000 miles of maintenance at no additional charge to you. This is luxury, and this is the start of something new. This is Mazda at the Avenues. For complete details, call 904-430-8047.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a Dandy today.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080. How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for. Like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bolt City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate. Full of choices and all of them good.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Football is back and so is Prize Picks. You know what that means. It's time to play and win with America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Will DJ Lagway throw up for more than 270.5 yards against Long Island? Will Jeremiah Smith have more than 1.5 touchdown catches against Texas? Will Cade Klubnik throw more than 2.5 touchdown passes against LSU? It's just that simple. But here's the best part. PrizePicks offers an injury insurance reboot. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks won't count it as a loss. PrizePicks invented Flex Play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. All PrizePicks withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code 1010XL and get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's 1010XL to get $50 instantly when you play 5. PrizePicks. Good to be right.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Gave it the Jaguars injury report a little bit earlier. Buster Brown, Wyatt Milam did not participate. Cole Van Lanen full today. The better news there, Anton Harrison with his back, full participation. So all indications are he will be good on Sunday. Cincinnati's beaten up now on the right side of the offensive line. It's an offensive line where they could not run against Cleveland. They allowed 3 sacks against Cleveland and far more pressures. They already put on the IR Patrick. That move was made a little bit earlier today. Patrick Lucas, their starting right guard, he has been placed on injured reserve. And Amaris Mims, their starting right tackle with an ankle, was limited today. So they are beaten up there. That's the only place where they are beaten up. They also have a rookie starting on that offensive line. 3rd-round draft pick Dylan Fairchild is their starting left guard. So that'll be only his second game in the NFL. You know, you look back, and if you were to look at the numbers first, this is beyond shocking that Cincinnati was able to knock off Cleveland 17-16. Cleveland ran 71 plays. Cincinnati, 49. Cleveland had 327 yards. Cincinnati, 141. Again, including minus 18 in the fourth quarter. Time of possession, Cleveland, 35 minutes, 49 seconds. Cincinnati, 24-11. They allowed 7 penalties and had 3 sacks, okay? They could not run the ball. Chase Brown, 21 carries, 43 yards, an average of 2.1. You know why they won this football game? I'll tell you why. They were 2 for 3 in the red zone, okay? They had 0 turnovers and 2 takeaways. So they won the turnover takeaway battle 2-0, and they also witnessed 2 missed field goals by Cleveland. That is your reason. Okay. Let me give you 4 points that Jacksonville is going to have to change if they're going to pull off this upset against the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 1, the Jaguars were dead last in so many defensive categories a year ago. One of those that does not get discussed enough, the Jaguars allowed the most 20-yard plus plays in 2024. That's more than explosive plays. Those are enormous plays. That can't happen. And you know Cincinnati's got the wide receivers to do that. That gets to my number 1 point, which we've talked a lot about, and Liam Cohen shared his opinion at the very top of the program. You need more of Travis Hunter on defense. Okay? That's point number 1. Point number 2. The Brian Thomas situation is alarming. It's not petrifying. It's not, that's it, it's over. You know, he was a Mac Jones guy. He's not a Trevor guy. We're not there yet, but it's alarming. I mean, I came in here after every single training camp practice and told you that Brian Thomas Jr. had dropped the ball, right? And we see the best of the best drop balls. We saw CeeDee Lamb, you know, on the receiving end, drop a couple, probably cost them the game on opening night. Trevor missed him 3 times really, really badly on Sunday. And I don't think it's gotten a lot of play because it was a 26-10 win. but there were 3 really bad balls. You get much more reaction to the underthrow to Travis Hunter, which ended up being the pick by J.C. Horn. But there were 3 that he's got to make those plays. He's got to make the pass. There was a drop on a screen by Thomas Jr., and I thought there was another one at the sideline where Trevor made the pass, and if Brian Thomas is going to be a top 5 wide receiver in this league, he's got to make that ball. So, there's 5 that you can talk about, but the numbers say what? 1 of 7. Wow. 1 reception in 7 targets. That has to get fixed. Now, I think this is 50-50 right now. As I said, 3 misses by Trevor Lawrence. Also a drop, arguably 2, by Brian Thomas Jr. Jacksonville's not winning in Cincinnati if Brian Thomas Jr. has 1 reception. It's not going to happen, okay? They won against Carolina. I also am aware of the fact that he had a reverse for a TD on the ground. But that's point number 2. You got to fix that. Point number 3. We don't know a lot about Shamar Stewart. He's only played 1 NFL game. I looked up his snap count a little bit earlier today in Cincy. It was plus 40. Trey Hendrickson picked up right where he left off. He's one of those guys who apparently just doesn't need a preseason. He had a sack. They did an outstanding job last week against Carolina. No sacks. I've read different marks as far as pressures. Okay, I saw that where Ezra had 3 and Walker Little had 2. The rest didn't allow a pressure. If you can get that, oh, my God. You may win the game based on that alone if you can get it. Better pass rushers. Now, again, Stewart is in the same category as Hunter. He's in the same category that we talked about last week with Ted McMillan. He's getting ready to play a second game. So you just don't know what's going to happen there, right? Hendrickson, you do. You're going to have to be able to do a solid job in pass protection, again, if Trevor Lawrence is going to throw that football on the road in Cincinnati. Part number 4. Jacksonville only 2 of 5 in red zone, 40%. We know all about Liam Cohen being number 1 last year in red zone. We know all about Baker Mayfield being number 1 last year in red zone. It's only game 1. Teams get better, and coaches will tell you it's the most that they improve between game 1 and game 2. You go into an environment like that on the road, settling for 3, okay, you got an incredible weapon in Cam Little. You have to improve in red zone. 2 of 5, you're going to lose games. You got to get to 3 of 5. You got to get to 4 of 5. You got to do things like that. They're getting there. You're getting points. You're walking away with 3s, but you need 7s. So to me, that's point number 4 in this game. Red zone, very similar to what they unfortunately did a year ago. So hopefully there's improvement coming there. Okay, let's come back, get much more from you. We're going to devote most of our second hour to your questions. John Oehser is going to join me at 7, senior writer from Jaguars.com. So there's a couple of ways you can join us. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, welcome those watching on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the night.
For high school football play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
The Bulldogs look for a big bounce-back game against the undefeated Crusaders. Bulls Bishop Kenny, Friday at 7 on 1010XL.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations to help you put your prostate health first. Guys, don't put this one off. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Football season is all about hanging at home and watching the big ball games. Well, if your AC and heating unit is letting you down and keeping those electric bills sky high, think about getting a new energy-efficient AC unit from Florida Home AC. They've got great deals on replacements plus rebates and incentives to make it more affordable. Call Florida Home AC at 777-4300 and get their expert staff to take a look. Football season is all about fun and playing for the win. Make sure you have the winning team on your side with Florida Home AC.
It's Rick Ballou looking for a brand new truck right now. Crew cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty and no extra cost. So, from tough Ram trucks to adventure-ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jackswest.com. Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Westside, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 10th, 2006, Peyton and Eli became the first brothers to face each other as starting quarterbacks in a game. The Colts won in the first ever Manning Bowl.
Hey, 1010XL fans, it's game time, but don't get sidelined from the fun. The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
When it comes to high-performance plays, look no further than BTJ. The second-year pro would blaze through the Carolina defense for a 9-yard touchdown, making the score 17-3 with 1:49 left in the first half. The BTJ score is your performance painting play of the game.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
Family owned and managed for 20 plus years, Hidden Hills Golf Club boasts a unique and welcoming atmosphere. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to book your next round on our Arnold Palmer signature course. You'll be glad you did.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit cssfireplaces.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Al Golden takes over as the defensive coordinator in Cincinnati. And he came up big. His defense forced a couple of second-half takeaways from Joe Flacco. That was really the difference in the game. Again, I gave you the numbers about 12, 15 minutes ago. The numbers are dominant by Cleveland in this matchup. But, I mean, takeaways, penalties, time of possession. There you go. Time of possession. I mean, Cleveland nearly 2-1. Still wasn't enough because of takeaways. And, we'll see. They had 7 penalties as well. Obviously, a lot of talk here about the 11. I feel like you can shave 2 of those away immediately. I don't expect there to be any more special teams problems with Cam Little. They admitted, Liam Cohen did, that the false start or delay a game, was their fault, not Trevor's fault. So, not often where I try to excuse or eliminate penalties. They had 11. They would have had, 13, 14 if they were all accepted. You had some that were not. declined. But, hey, you're not going to win there with penalties. I didn't even put that into the 4. That's so blatantly obvious. You cannot win football games if that is the case. But Al Golden now on the defensive side in his very first year after he was in Notre Dame, right? Wasn't he part of that national championship defense or national championship game defense for Notre Dame? I believe he was.
I believe he was as well.
Yeah, Al Golden. So there you go. All right, let's put an end to this. Maybe I'll actually scratch that. I'm going to ask Oehser about this in 10 minutes. But outside of that, I do think it's time to move on from Tank Bigsby. We do want to play for you, however, what the quarterback had to say about the running back room and about moving Tank Bigsby on Monday nights.
Things like that's the hardest part of this business, this sport. Seeing guys get moved, and I'm going to miss Tank. Obviously, I've been with him for a few years. He's done a nice job. He's given a lot to this organization and thankful for what he's done. So, yeah, I mean, that's a friend of mine. But you look at the guys that we have and what they've done, and they've definitely earned the opportunity. Not to say that Tank didn't either, but they earned the opportunity. They've been playing really well. Travis, obviously, did a really great job Sunday. Was proud of just the way he played. It was awesome to see. And then the young guys have earned opportunities, and it's hard to, when you have 4 like that, it's just hard to get everyone touches and to make it make sense. So, I understand kind of what we're doing with the young guys, and those guys are ready and they've prepared, and it's a good room. And obviously, yeah, we're gonna miss Tank, and it's a guy I'll keep in touch with, but wish him nothing but the best.
Trades have always happened, not necessarily in football. When I first started covering this game, there were almost 0 trades. I mean, none. Zilch. Who did Champ Bailey get traded for again? He got traded for a very good running back, but that was basically it. And I remember asking Tom Coughlin why there weren't trades in the NFL, and he said it's too difficult to come on in and learn a new offense, learn a new defense. And we see more of it now, but this is really another shout-out to you, to Jaguar fans and to fans in general. You got to root for the jersey, man. It's tough to root for the player. I'm sure there were many diehard Tank Bigsby fans out there. Just like there were diehard Christian Kirk fans out there and Evan Ingram fans out there. These players come and go and come and go. You always hope to have a very small nucleus, right? I mean, you'd love to have Hunter and Thomas Jr. and Lawrence and Lloyd. He's probably gone a year. All right, Hines Allen, Walker, but it's rough on you. College and pro. Now today with the transfer portal. Very difficult. So, I hate it for fans. And those who are older, that was one thing that was really, really cool about athletics back then, is for the most part, you stayed with your team. And a young guy would bump a veteran. Maybe they would get released, possibly traded. And, free agency was still around. It's been around since Kurt Flood, for crying out loud. But it didn't happen at the pace that it has this year. Were you able to find out who that back was?
Clinton
Portis. Champ Bailey. Yeah, that was like the only one back then.
That was like 2004.
Yeah, I mean, there was like almost no trades.
Now you have Jared Goff trade for Matthew Stafford. And
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so your questions are about 15 minutes away, okay? Go ahead and fire them up at 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, and also go to YouTube at 1010XL into the night. I'll get to them right after a conversation with Jaguar senior writer John Oehser, and he's next.
Get straight talk from D-Rock.
So let me get this straight.
Mike DiRocco.
And we get his insight every Thursday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Open by Lee and Kate's Glass. Guaranteed greatness since 1926 on 1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators suffered an ugly loss to the USF Bulls last Saturday, losing 18-16 due to a walk-off field goal. As the Gators try and put a diminishing loss behind them, the road's not getting any easier as they head to Baton Rouge this Saturday to take on the third-ranked LSU Tigers in Death Valley at 7:30. Catch that game airing right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,600 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. But only until September 30th. 18 months financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Put a little hot sauce on your lunchtime listening. Spicy. Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy. They are XL Prime Time. 4-alarm fire. From the big number 1 Duval Ford Studios. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Chip Davis, director of the Flounder Pounder Fishing Tournament. We are fast approaching our 16th annual tournament benefiting the Jacksonville School for Autism. With the help of our amazing community, we raised over $1.4 million the last 15 years. This year's tournament will be held at Palm Valley Outdoors on the Intercoastal Waterway. Captain's meeting is Thursday night, October 9th, and the tournament is Saturday, October 11th. I'm inviting you and your family to come out and enjoy our tournament festivities, raise some money, and support autism awareness. Special thanks to U.S. Army Recruitment Jacks for their support. Flounder Pounder for Autism 2025. See you there.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The Money Pages brings you the Red Zone featured player of the week. Number 1, Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr. Travis played college ball for the Clemson Tigers and was drafted by the Jags in the first round in 2021. Pick up this week's Jags game program with a commemorative ticket of Travis Etienne inside. Download the Money Pages app for weekly specials. Money Pages, official sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okefarm.com. That's OKEfarm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Travis Etienne ran circles around Carolina on Sunday. The teal and black back tallied 143 yards on 16 carries, averaging 8.9 yards per attempt. Number 1 was the one to lead the squad to 1-0. And he's your Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through September 30th. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. 1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Oehser. Oh No's. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
A couple of 1-0 teams will have at it Sunday at 1. Cincinnati, Ohio. Looking forward to it. Although I'm enjoying my Wednesday. Look forward to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well. I know John Oehser's looking forward to it. He's a senior writer at Jaguars.com. Hello, John.
Tough day for you Saturday. The Gates took a tough one. The Knowles are good. That had to have been hard for you.
It was pretty enjoyable. I got to be honest. And I'm looking forward to the games this week, and I hope to find a good bar in Cincinnati where I can watch all of those contests. It's going to be a fun one.
Heading up, Rick, are you? Are you heading up?
Yep, I am.
Cincinnati's a great town, too.
I love it.
Back to when we traveled up there, in the AFC Central, it's one of my 3 or 4 favorite road towns. It's fantastic.
I'm glad you said that. Every time that I've gone, I've always enjoyed it, whether you go across the river, go over to Kentucky and look at Cincy, or just party right there in Cincinnati, Ohio. So it should be good. No doubt about it. All right. 26-10. An impressive victory. It felt a little odd just because of the weather delay and the penalties and everything that went around with it. But one game in, 17-game season, overall, your thoughts on the first ever for Liam Cohen?
Well, it also felt odd because, we'd watched this team for 2 or 3 years play, and I'm not denigrating a lot of what went on under Doug. I mean, there were some good things that happened in the first 2 years. Like last year, I think everybody watched this team, just mistakes. Games would get away quickly. Even if you got a lead, you didn't feel secure about it. And then on Sunday, they did, they came out, they hit every storyline, every key point. And by that, I mean, they wanted to run. They wanted to be physical on defense. They wanted to create turnovers. They wanted to make big plays in big moments. And I kind of hate the phrase checking boxes, but they checked boxes. They ran, they were physical. When they needed a big play, when Carolina got down to the 5 in the third quarter, it was almost like it was scripted. Hey, a big play, and all of a sudden you're safe. There was no momentum switch. So, to me, the storyline of the game was they wanted to show what kind of team they were. They wanted to be physical, create turnovers, and run. And you couldn't have done it more to script than what they did in the opener.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, before we move on, let's finally put this to bed, but they do make a move. They say goodbye to Tank Bigsby on Monday night. Clearly, they have a lot of faith in the rookies, and ETN has been spectacular since, training camp got underway. Your feeling on making this move and being able to acquire 2 more draft picks?
Yeah, people who read me a lot know I'm never a huge fan of trading good players during the season for future draft picks. That being said, I say that usually when I feel like there's 2 players at a position you like. There's 3 here, and they really love the 2 rookies. I mean, they think everything you hear when you talk to people around the building is they think Tootin is going to be fantastic. And the only reason he hasn't taken the starting job is because ETN has been fantastic. And they love LaQuint Allen. I mean, I don't think after the draft anybody around the building thought, hey, we're going to be forced into playing LaQuint Allen because he's so good on third down. But he's so good on third downs that that's been what's happened. So they've been surprised at how well Travis Etienne has played, his attitude, his work ethic, his approach. I just truly think this was a case where, hey, we've got 3 guys we want on the field. We like Sequindon Jackson if there's an injury. I think it was just a case where they could get this kind of value, and they love the 3 guys they've got on the roster.
3 guys who can be 3 down backs, and that's huge. And that, Tank did not have good hands. He was suspect in pass protect. All right, so just, hypothetically speaking, let's just say that they're all lathered up and they run the ball 35 times against Cincinnati on Sunday. I mean, I still don't look at Etienne as a guy I think who's going to get more than 20 carries a game. His 16 feels kind of normal to me. Yeah. And Allen Jr., we saw him inserted early on third down. How do you see that working as far as carries with this football team?
Well, I think and it's an interesting question. I hadn't thought about it until right now. One reason I think for the Bigsby trade was when you put him in place of ETN, we heard it a lot last year. It sort of tips your hand a little bit if you're going to run. So I could easily see 15-15-2 if they run. You know, and I do think they believe that they showed some signs of trying to rotate last week. I think they feel good about Tootin as a rotating type back. So, say it's 28. I can easily see 14, 12, and 2 carries on third down for LaQuint Allen.
Yeah.
And them liking that. And there even being a situation in 4 or 5 weeks where people are saying, hey, do we need to start Tootin?
Mm-hmm.
Not because ETN's not playing well, but they really think that Tootin is going to be a star.
Sunday at 1, it'll be Cincinnati playing host to Jacksonville. We'll have it all for you. Yeah, pregame, in-game, postgame right here on 92.5 FM, our Wednesday night conversation with John Oehser. Read everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com where he is the senior writer. All right, final thought on the game played a few days ago. Really good effort, run blocking as well as pass protection for this offensive line.
Yeah, look, it's almost like you've set too high a standard because they're not going to run for 200 and give up no sacks every week. But it did show you what they believe can be a really good offensive line. I don't know if I believe it's going to be great. I expect they'll come up against fronts where they can't get the running game going to that degree. And then the pass pro is a little more vulnerable because you're not leading. You're not in that great situation. But they think it's going to be good and consistent and that it's one they can go win with. So I think that's going to be the key. I think against Cincinnati, they are going to try to establish physicality. They believe that's going to be their calling card and their best chance. So, look, an outstanding performance in week 1, really against a Carolina defense that I think people are overlooking, that the line's pretty good because the Jaguars defense played so well. It's easy for people to say, Carolina's not very good. They have a pretty good front. And the Jaguars, because they had some success, got into a situation where they could make they did what they wanted to do all day offensively, which was helped because they got a lead early. But I think they believe they can be that team a lot this season.
John, it really feels like they're walking into a situation where Cincinnati's a wounded animal. I mean, the story out of there, it's as if they lost. They didn't win against Cleveland. And I know you've begun your research, and I have as well. I mean, Joe Burrow never consistently has 2 bad offensive games in a row. Jacksonville's going to have to, no way they can have 11 penalties. Jacksonville's going to have to play their best football in order to pull off a victory here against the Bengals.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to run. And to me, the key is, I agree with you. I don't think Joe has 2 bad games in a row. I love the kid. He's resilient. He's everything you want in a quarterback. So I think the key for the Jaguars defensively is going to be, okay, we gave up a touchdown. They're scoring some points. How resilient can the secondary be? And even maybe more nuanced than that, how resilient can the pass rush be? You're going to get him 2 or 3 times, and then he's going to come back and do what he does, which is throw a touchdown pass, even though you've had a great rush. Can you be resilient and realize you're going to have to keep hitting this guy, keep going after him because he always bounces back, and still be playing tough in the fourth quarter when it matters? You've got to realize he's going to get his point. You got to keep coming and eventually get that sack when he was gaining confidence. Keep playing hard against this guy because nobody bounces back like Joe Burrow in the NFL right now.
Yeah. And, I was talking to Mark Duffner about it yesterday. You blitz Joe Burrow, he'll kill you. He just will. He's like Brady or Manning in that aspect. The right side of the line is really beaten up in Cincinnati as well. Thoughts on Travis Hunter? And I know, Liam Cohen talked about it a little bit today. And we don't know. We need more game experience to find out. But do you look at this as kind of a fluid situation where depending on how the game goes, he gets more work defensively? I don't want to say more than offensively because that's already been, discussed. But what do you believe there as far as his overall plays on that side of the football against the Bengals?
I think it's a little fluid throughout the course of the season, but I think you're going to see him over time start playing a lot more defensively, only because for the Jaguars, the temptation is going to be too great to pass up. He's so good defensively, and people I talked to in the building, that's what they've been saying is, look, he's so much better than people realize in terms of being a corner, in terms of being able to break on the ball. I think what's going to happen, I think he's going to play a lot more defensively this week. I think Burrow's going to test him. I think Burrow will beat him once in a while, but I think Travis gets an interception too because they're going to test the rookie. Joe's not going to be scared of Travis, but Travis is not going to be scared of Joe either. So I think he's going to make a play. I think he gets a pick. And I think over the course of the season, once he gets comfortable defensively, once he knows the offense better, I think you're going to see him play a lot more as time goes on. I think he'll play a lot Sunday, maybe not a lot every game going forward, but the arrow will be progressively up for him playing defense.
Makes sense. Hey, they got out of there fairly healthy. Anton Harrison, the only one, and he worked today. So week one is pretty good news for them on that front.
As good a day as you could imagine without injuries, and you won despite penalties. So you're able to say you can put the tape on and say, hey, you can't do this. You can't do this against Cincy. So everything you want is coaching.
No doubt. Read John Oehser and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. John Oehser is the senior writer. Always a lot of fun, John. Thank you.
Look forward to it, Rick. Thanks.
There he goes, John Oehser. And I will see him tomorrow, the Miller Electric Center. Looking forward to going over there, getting an opportunity to talk to the players. That'll be Thursday. Then I'll be with you tomorrow night, 6 to 8. Remember, programming note during high school football season, I'm with you 4 to 6 on 1010 only. Okay? So every night, 6 to 8. That includes tomorrow night. But during high school football, I will be on 4 until 6. That is on the AM. That is 1010. That allows me to be at the Blue Crab House by 7, like I was last Friday night, enjoying those oysters. Right now, they have $1 oysters on Wednesday. That is always the deal. And that's good for nearly another 2 hours up until 9 o'clock tonight, right off of San Jose. It's located on Julington Creek Road. All right, let's get you involved here now. Let's do it. I've been saying it all program. We've been busy. There's been a lot out there. But we love to hear from you. We consider ourselves the most interactive show you'll find when it comes to Jaguar fans. If you would like to join us right now, get on in. Text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures is 641-1010. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. You can also join those folks. Just go to YouTube and look for 1010XL Into the Night.
There's nothing like the feeling of a college football Saturday.
I'm RJ Saunders, and we'll share stories about players and coaches and get you ready for the games.
It's the Bueller Aaron Plumbing College Kickoff.
Served up by Sonny's Barbecue.
Friday night at 6 on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I've been telling you about my daughter's journey with Awaken 180 as she tries to lose a little weight. In fact, last week you heard from Amber herself. Well, let me give you an update. She's been in it just a little over 2 months. Amber has lost 51 pounds. That's a real number. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it happen. She has lost 51 pounds. And here's why. Awaken 180 is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change that is sustainable. And she has figured that out. She loves the journey. She loves the new recipes. She loves that she fits into her old clothes and she sleeps better and has more energy. And it is really, really working. She's proud, and man, am I proud of her. If you want to start your transformation, you can do the same thing. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. My daughter's lost 50 pounds, and she's so excited about it. You can as well. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 10th, 2006, Peyton and Eli became the first brothers to face each other as starting quarterbacks in a game. The Colts won in the first ever Manning Bowl.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
Jacksonville is game time, and just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long, we've got the winning playbook. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, let's get to your reaction, your questions. Let's begin with the good folks on YouTube first. 1010XL Into the Night on YouTube. Omar Brown says, Ballou, are they positioning ETN for a trade to unleash the new regime of running backs? It's a good question because the answer to that could very easily be yes if they struggle. Before the trade deadline, if a running back goes down, okay, we saw George Kittle go down as a tight end in San Francisco. They're going to be without Brock Purdy probably this weekend. Right now, 1-0, the game he had, heck no. But things change so quickly. If Jacksonville disappoints and they don't look like they're a playoff team, he's gone anyway at the end of the year. I don't think, regardless of how well he plays this year, because of the wear on the tires of that position, they're not going to bring him back. They're going to go with the two rookies who will be second-year guys, and maybe they'll address running back again. I don't know. But if they move him, in my opinion, it'll be because they aren't playing as well as they want, and for the most part, they are going to be out of the playoff race. That would be my opinion. CRS092 Ballou, excited to see Hunter on defense and more Parker on offense this week. It really makes sense to me. Parker Washington had a fantastic camp. He was the most consistent wide receiver out there. Now, there's a big drop-off between Hunter and Washington. Washington is consistent. You know, I think he can pick up first downs for you. Stick him in the slot. I mean, he can play all three wide receiver positions. He's not the home run hitter. But I believe in a game like this, when you're taking on two fantastic wide receivers, you need more Travis Hunter on defense. 56-09. Ballou, Chase had the same kind of game week one. You think they are panicking in Cincinnati? No. He's phenomenal. I mean, he is absolutely outstanding. And Joe Burrow was outstanding. I think it was just a really bad game by everyone involved in that offense.
It's also a divisional game.
Sure.
When, the Browns defense is good, and every time the Bengals and Browns play, the Bengals offense isn't as good.
Mm-hmm. I don't like them being in this position. As I said yesterday, I would have rather have had Joe Burrow throw for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then maybe, you're being heralded again. Oh, you guys are so good. Here comes Jacksonville. They're not going to win on the road. Now it does. It feels like in Cincinnati, again, the tone coming out of there is like they lost. So I don't like that.
You know how many yards they had in the second half on offense?
9?
It was less than 10. So yeah, it was in that ballpark.
Including minus 18 in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, they had 2 drives in the second half. They went minus 18 on one and minus 10 on another.
I think they were either 4 or 5 drives, or all 5 drives, they were 3 and out. I mean, that doesn't happen with the Cincinnati Bengals. 91-47, Ballou. I think the best defense, Travis Hunter, is Deion Sanders. The best offense, Travis Hunter, maybe Andre Araiza. Jaguar fans would sign up for that in a heartbeat. Deion Sanders is the best corner to ever play. And Bad Moon Rising was a heck of a wide receiver. No doubt about that. 28-35. These people that question Trevor as a quarterback are idiots. I love the word idiot or idiots. It's just so amusing to me. Who are they going to replace him with? He can compete. It's already proved. I just love the reaction. Where did this come in on this show tonight? Is there anything said negatively at all about Trevor Lawrence on this show?
Tonight, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up. So anyway, listen, he is constantly under the microscope. Maybe it was referencing the fact that he missed Brian Thomas Jr. on 3 balls, which he did. Yeah, that's something right there. You want to put Brian Thomas Jr. in the category of Jamar Chase, right? You want him to be better than T. Higgins. They gotta solve that issue right there. That's been going on far too long. And I don't know what else to say outside of that. I win or lose for this team, be nice to see that really increase as far as receptions. I mean, 1 of 7. That is brutal. 0148 Ballou, good point on ETM. What have you heard about Jackson? Are they going to protect him on the 53, albeit make him inactive? Well, that was the one reason why I was surprised by the addition yesterday of Cody Schrader, because I was under the assumption as soon as I heard about the tank trade that maybe another NFL team was considering going after Jaquindon Jackson. And remember, in a situation like that, if you take a guy off the practice squad, whatever team went in and got Jaquindon Jackson, they would have to put him on their active roster for 3 weeks. Even if they cut him after 1 week, you still have to pay him 2 weeks active roster salary. But that was not the case. They went out and got Cody Schrader. And again, it's like, well, I'm surprised. But then all of a sudden, I didn't know anything about Cody Schrader. And then you learn that he had been in Los Angeles, and that is where James Gladstone was with the Rams. It's like, okay, well, you got to trust your GM. He was there. He was an undrafted free agent in 2024 by San Francisco, then went over to L.A. in 2024, stayed in 2025, only played one game. That was game 17 last year. Had one rush for 3 yards, one reception for 6 yards. But, that might have surprised me more than the actual tank trade. I thought absolutely Jaquindon Jackson is coming up. I think what we know is this, though. There'll only be 3 game day active running backs. They're going to add either Cole Van Lanen or, Mason Smith. I would have to believe is where this football team is going to go on Sunday. 40-42. Baker Mayfield is the most underrated quarterback in the league. He's getting a lot of coaches' jobs, right? And they gave him up for nothing. That's kind of when I grew up, I can think of like Dan Pastorini. I can think of Jim Plunkett. I can think, not Steve Young would be the wrong one. Joe Montana. All right, I'm talking about guys who went to other teams. That wasn't the case for Montana. But in New England, they kind of gave up on Jim Plunkett until he went to the Raiders. Pastorini as well. There was like a long, long period of time that went by before we saw a quarterback that was left for nothing getting another opportunity. Maybe Brad Johnson, the year they won the Super Bowl in Tampa. But all of a sudden now, this happens all the time. Joe Flacco, Goff, Darnold, right? Baker Mayfield. Who am I trying to think of out in Las Vegas who went over from Seattle?
Geno Smith.
It just seems like right now we're in an era where guys are getting second opportunities, and with a new coaching staff, a new system, the light is shining for them, right? What if the light goes on for Mac Jones this weekend in San Francisco?
It's possible.
Can you imagine that? What that would be like? You can make the case that even though in backup situations where he still got starts, Gardner Minshew had a decent career after he was moved from here. So
yeah, and a lot of it too is, there's a short leash on a lot of these first-round quarterbacks. Like if Caleb Williams can't get this thing figured out in Chicago, there's gonna be decisions made.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't surprise me if they made a decision. If by Thanksgiving, if things aren't turned around the way they want it to be, he might still be around next year, but the future might not be him at quarterback.
But if you were to poll offensive linemen, your own offensive linemen, and to give an honest assessment, anonymous, and you were to get from them, how hard do you play for your quarterback and how much do you enjoy playing for your quarterback? You get the obvious, with Mahomes and Hurts and Lamar and Allen and quarterbacks like that. I'd love to say Burrow, but man, Burrow spends as much time on his back as a actress mattress, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Baker Mayfield is the exception to the rule. He's a blue-collar guy. He doesn't have the skill of the quarterbacks that I just mentioned. But there's something about Baker Mayfield that those guys want to play so incredibly hard for him. And you can't teach that. That's all about just the way, that you are. And he's always been that way. He was that way at Oklahoma. And, he failed at Cleveland. But I'd love to know that. you know? And hopefully this new offensive line, at least 2/5 of the offensive line being new, they're starting to do a little something around here to hopefully feel that way when it comes with Trevor Lawrence, because it certainly hasn't felt that way to me in his 4 years, you know, from the outside looking in. Just my opinion on it. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that either. 88-52 Ballou. You put Travis on whatever side of the ball you need to. If the offense is going to want to run more defensive plays on one side of the ball, Spark needs more help, then you put him on the other side of the ball. Yeah, you know, that makes the most sense. It really does. But how, when reality sets in, what is that really like? We keep hearing 75-25. Going from 75-25, if you look at offensive snaps to defensive snaps, to 60-40 is a significant move. And, you know, this feels like the week that you really need him on defense. I'm not trying to say it's not going to work with C.J. Stroud and his talented wide receivers next week, but this is like, you know, arguably, is this the best wide receiver tandem in the NFL, or is it Minnesota?
No, this is the best duo.
Okay.
Because T. Higgins is a wide receiver one for most teams.
It just makes total sense that, you know, this is the game where you need him more on that side of the football. It feels that way. And based on just 1 week, don't you kind of want to see it? I mean, he caught 6 balls. They found a way to give him the ball, which was cool. He only averaged what? He didn't average anything. I think his length was, or his longest was 10 yards. But you saw what could have happened on the pick. I mean, Trevor throws that a foot higher. That could have gone the entire way for a touchdown. So you know that the offense is it's spinning, and you believe it's only going to get better. But we haven't seen anything on defense. He was out there for 6 plays. He allowed 1 reception to McMillan, and that was it. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him go up against McMillan, you know, a dozen times. But I think the way they looked at it was, you don't need him in this game. You know, I just talked about John Oehser. You get out of week 1 without injuries. The only thing you got was Anton Harrison, and it's a back, and he practiced full today. You can also really check the box of only 6 plays of Travis Hunter on defense, right? That is a win. You didn't have to risk injury, risk wear and tear. None of that in this game. Now, that could totally change next week. I mean, we may get back here on Monday and talk about, instead of 44 offensive plays, Travis Hunter plays 34 offensive plays. And instead of 6 defensive plays, he plays 22 defensive plays. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think it's going to be, though, 35-35. Not at this point in his career. I just don't. So I expect offense to be ahead of defense because that's what they told us. But I think you're going to see situations where in-game that's going to change. I don't think you're going to get more defense than offense, too. Let me say that. Now, it could happen, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Not this year. I always think offensive snaps will be more than defensive snaps. All right, we got much more to do.
It's a clash of the big cats, spots, and stripes. Who rules the jungle? Find out Sunday at 1. Jaguars, Bengals, on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Yo, it's your main man E to the T here. And have you been to Clay County lately? It's the perfect escape and just a short drive away. Hiking, paddling, fishing, and plenty more ways to enjoy the outdoors. This month, you can take on the Whistling Death 5 and 10K. Dig into bold flavors at the annual Soul Food Festival and enjoy fall festivals all across the county. Make the call this weekend and enjoy great times and make wonderful new memories, all in our area. Check out exploreclay.com to plan your weekend adventure. That's exploreclay.com.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family-owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top-quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010 XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Millard Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Millard Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Millard Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Millard Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
The Money Pages brings you the Red Zone featured player of the week. Number 1, Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr. Travis played college ball for the Clemson Tigers and was drafted by the Jags in the first round in 2021. Pick up this week's Jags game program with a commemorative ticket of Travis Etienne inside. Download the Money Pages app for weekly specials. Money Pages, official sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval!
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jacksonville, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Chris Lewis, Logan Ryan, and Tiffany Blackman will have the call for you. I don't know if I know Chris Lewis. Do you know him?
I do not.
No, they're bringing in some new blood. Tiffany Blackman, I certainly do know. Her dad played for the New England Patriots. She's formerly with the NFL Network. And Logan Ryan, of course, played for New England, also played for Tennessee, if memory does serve me correct. So, going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we'll have everything here on the radio, pregame, in-game, postgame, and that'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to getting out to Cincinnati for this one. I only did, I think, 3 road games a year ago. I think I'm going to do 5 or 6 this year, and it's always good to go out there when you win. You know, when you're winning, it's just a much better situation. They remain a 3.5-point dog. You can maybe find it at 3 somewhere, which would surprise me. If you're a Jaguars fan, you're betting, you want that hook. But let's face it, they're going to have to play their best football if they are going to win this game. CRS 092, hey, Rick, you say Burrow Never plays 2 bad games in a row, but he also has never won a game in week 2. He is 0-5 in his career in week 2. So yeah, we were talking about that last night with Hacker a little bit. His first 2 weeks in the NFL was really scary. And he 1-9 or something like that. It's maybe he goes to 2-9 after the win, 4 days ago. But he is one of the quarterbacks in the NFL. And it's not like it's all been his fault.
Mostly injuries.
Yeah. I mean, that offensive line has been just brutal over the years in Cincinnati. And they've tried everything. I mean, that year they went to the Super Bowl, they allowed the most sacks of any team that has ever allowed that number, yet was still able to make it to the Super Bowl.
Remember they played Tennessee, had to been the divisional round. Tennessee was the 1 seed, and they gave up 10 sacks and still won. That's incredible.
10 sacks. So Brock Purdy, once again, this is why we make our picks in the preseason, but the picks that actually mean anything are the week of the game, okay? And you look at San Francisco now, who, of course, is a couple of weeks away. You have Cincy, then home here with Houston. Then you go all the way out to Santa Clara. But with the situation now with Kittle, who is going to miss the game, he's on the shelf. Brock Purdy now, they're saying he's not going to be available to play this weekend against New Orleans, and he's dealing with a toe and a left shoulder. Kyle Shanahan went on to say that the toe is the bigger concern than the shoulder, okay? And he could be out for a little bit of time. I think the worst definition for a brutal injury is turf toe. And I don't know if this is turf toe, okay? But I've seen turf toe. I remember seeing Warwick. The Warwick Dunn's the one that'll always stick out for me. And it was when he was here. Oh, God, I don't know if he was at Atlanta or Tampa. And I rolled into the visiting locker room just for a minute and saw it. And, I mean, again, there are certain injuries. Like, when you hear a torn ACL, I mean, that kind of fits the injury, kind of fits the crime. Like torn ACL, that's brutal. You're done for a year. You hear turf toe, it's like one of those deals okay, put a Band-Aid on it, put some tape on it, send it back on. No way. You ever seen a turf toe as a coach?
I've never seen one, but I can only imagine it's hard to walk around, much less play an NFL game.
And again, I'm not saying this is a turf toe for Brock Purdy, but he's dealing with a toe injury. Yeah, if I just say to you he's dealing with a toe and a shoulder, the shoulder is going to be the one that immediately everyone looks at and says that is a more considerable injury. But I'm just telling you, those turf toes, and they can be absolutely brutal. So we'll see. But you know what this league is all about. This league, if you go back to the last time the Jaguars played good football, the second half of the season with all those come-from-behind wins and the trip to the playoffs and the come-from-behind playoff win, that particular year, Jacksonville had the least amount of starters who missed games. They were remarkably healthy that year, and that's what you need if you're going to be, really a team that can surprise a lot of people and win this division and hopefully get deep into the playoffs. Attrition is a massive part of all of that. All right, much more to do, including Hacker Nation, who's getting set to take over at 8 o'clock. Great to have you with us. We like to call this Into the Night.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Celebrate every score for Duval's favorite home team this season at One Night Taco Stand. Enjoy $3.99 margaritas, and when the home team scores, free tequila shots. Dine in only during the game. Don't miss Taco Tuesday, daily lunch specials, and Top Shelf Friday, Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows. One Night Taco Stand, where tacos, tequila, and touchdowns come together.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff Menard and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, GarageDoor911.com.
Duval Fence is looking for the best in fence installers. Check out DuvalFence.com right now and fence in a great job opportunity. From estimates to installers, they're looking for you right now. Log on to DuvalFence.com for all the details. Equal opportunity employer.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Midweek, the preparation begins. Actually, it's not midweek. What did I say? Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
All caught up in it. Yeah, absolutely. The beginning of Cincinnati did begin a little bit earlier today at the Miller Electric Center. And really good news for Jacksonville health-wise. The injury report did come out. Buster Brown, Wyatt Milam still on it with an ankle and knee, respectively. They did not work, although Buster actually for the first time was limited today. So, he's been a DMP forever. He got a little bit of work in today, so that, that is encouraging. No doubt about it. Can they get him ramped up and available for Sunday? We'll have to see. I've always been under the impression that I think the additional roster spot this week will either go to Mason Smith on defense or perhaps Cole Van Lannon as another tackle. Van Lannon, full participation today with his shoulder. The only concern was Anton Harrison, who went out, in the victory against Carolina with his back, and he participated in full today. So all of a sudden that offensive line, getting healthy with Harrison and Cole Van Lannon. Cincinnati, Amaris Mims, they're starting right tackle with an ankle. He was limited today. So that is basically it. Their deep snapper has a hamstring, but practiced in full. That is the latest there for the Jaguars. I just got a request here that in not a million years, but one that I didn't ever think I would get. I obviously forever I've been doing interviews in other cities about the Jaguars, and I still do quite a few on Florida State in different markets. But I just got one here from 95.7 The Game out of San Francisco. Dylan, they want to have me on to talk about Mac Jones, who is going to be the starting quarterback this weekend for the 49ers.
Hometown kid, hometown hero. A little too far.
I wonder what they're going to ask me about Mac Jones. You know, here's my definition of Mac Jones. It's 3rd and 14. He throws a 2-yard screen.
Well, Kyle Shanahan do that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
we'll see. But they're beating up. They're beating up right now in San Francisco. As we said, George Kittle already IR'd. It looks like Brock Purdy is definitely out. As again, I look at this email. They say he is definitely starting, according to 95.7, the game out in San Francisco. All right, big day coming ahead of us tomorrow, a Thursday down at the Miller Electric Center. And again, we'll have much more to do coming up tomorrow night. We will be with you from 6 until 8. I'll also tell you that Friday's show, because of high school football, we will be on from 4 to 6. That is on 1010 only. Again, during high school football season, Fridays, we will be with you 4 until 6 on 1010.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hacker Nation is in. How you doing, young man?
I'm good. Just left T-ball practice. My man's getting after it at T-ball. His first game is next week, so we're hoping for the best on that one. It was organized chaos at the final practice before opening day.
Wow, T-ball in September. That is amazing to me. I would have been deep into football season, then hockey, baseball would have started in April, but that's back in Boston. That's not the way they do things down here in Florida.
No, apparently not. I played T-ball. T-ball's as high as I went on the baseball diamond in my playing career, so Forrest is going to equal his old man when he hits the field next week for opening day.
Now, if you got a vibe yet, do we have angry parents screaming at kids and all that? Does that happen as well at the T-ball level?
Well, the coach made a preemptive strike today, and he said, look, I got 15 kids, only 9 obviously can play in the field. Everybody's going to play, but everybody won't be able to play every inning. Are we all cool with that? So the speech was already made to said parents.
Yeah, and I'm sure some people are whispering, oh, I bet your son plays. Angry parents are the worst when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'll never forget the story. Was it Hicken? I think it was Hicken that was politely asked to leave a Little League game that I think his youngest son was in. This was years ago. I remember he told it to Prosser, and I was just cracking up that the umpire had about enough of him for one afternoon, and he was politely asked to leave the grandstand.
All right. What do you got? What's going on?
Yeah, I was down in the Jaguar locker room. Went one-on-one with both Andrew Wingard and Bayshell Tootin, and we'll play those conversations tonight here on Hacker After Dark. I noticed it again, and maybe it was more prevalent this week because of the win over Carolina. There's a confidence in that Jaguar locker room. And I hear people saying, well, Carolina's not very good. Cincinnati's, a much tougher test. Jacksonville's the big underdog. And that's true. But I think you got to start thinking outside the box with this team. And I'll tell you why. There's just so many new guys. Jaguar fans have football-related PTSD from all the beatings we've taken over the years and the 3-14s and the 4-13 records. But over half of these guys don't know anything about that.
Sure.
I'm talking to Hunter Long today as well. We're going to play that conversation tomorrow night about his first touchdown. I'm starting to become, he's one of my most favorite guys to talk to on the team. He said, look, yeah, Cincinnati's great, but I love our 11 guys on offense. I'll take our 11 guys on offense. Let's go to battle, and I like our chances. And I just love hearing things like that from these new Jaguars. They don't understand what the fan base has been through. They're here for year number 1, and all they know is they just wiped the floor with Carolina, and Cincinnati's the next team on deck.
Yeah, it's a very good point, and that's why a week ago my opinion was this win was more important for the city. It was more important for the fans because they're going to move on. Again, as you pointed out, the roster's half new, the coaching staff is new. They're not aware of that stuff. They would just get in preparation for Cincinnati. But the hangover here would have been brutal, but that's not the case. They're 1-0 trying to pull off the upset. So you got all that coming up and more.
Yeah, Dewey Wingard, Bayshell Tootin, also Brian Sexton, Jaguars.com. So we're loaded tonight.
All right, have a lot of fun, Hacker.
Thanks, Rick.
Paul Skeens went 5 innings tonight, 2 hits, 0 runs, 8 strikeouts through 64 pitches, and they've gone to the bullpen. 1-0 Pittsburgh. He's finally over 500, 10-9. This man's going to win the Cy Young. But, you know, you're going to win the Cy Young, but it's going to be an awfully difficult record to look at if you are one of those old school type of guys. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you to John Oehser. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Thank you to you. We're back at it tomorrow, 6 to 8, right here on 92.5 FM.